Hey guys, it's Michael from Kumbaya Games, and welcome to our one video mini segment, Tilted Tier List, where we're going to be breaking down the best all the way down to, no one wants to say worst, but the worst heroes to be playing in this upcoming skirmish season. So let's jump right into it. We have our S tier, tilt factor over 9,000. A tier, tilt worthy choice. B tier, off meta, tilt package. C tier, you're probably already tilted. And we couldn't really give this one a letter because there's no tilt in pit fight. And pit fight's a lot of fun. And some heroes are just meant for pit fight. So let's jump into it here. Who we got? Number 1, Katsu. Ninja, OG from Welcome to Wraith. He's going right into our A tier. Katsu, the cool thing about the Ninja class guys is they have so many like viable cards all the way down to the common rarity. And when you're playing Katsu, if you do get to hit your combo, basically if you hit with him against your release, the game's essentially over. You have like a 3% chance to lose that game unless you're playing against one of the wizard guys here we're going to talk about in a little bit. What do we got here? Dorinthia, young Dorinthia. Now, there's a lot of hullabaloo about Dorinthia right now. She did not have a good showing at Nationals, but that is classic constructed. Dorinthia goes in S tier in Blitz, and this is why. Counters on Dawnblade don't mean nearly as much in Blitz. It's really about the fact that you already have your opponent in kill range, whether you're going first or second, and that matters less in Blitz as well, with it being such a fast format. All you're really worried about is just depleting your hand and getting some damage through, as long as they're always on the back foot, right? It gets a lot harder to block against Dorinthia the lower health you're at, right? So in Classic Constructed, it's not as big a deal. In Blitz, huge deal. Who we got next? Bravo. Mini Gaston himself. Bravo is a really cool choice. The problem with Bravo as the control archetypes with Blitz being such a fast format, he's not going to be up towards the top. He's not going to try and push everybody out of the way just by, blocking out a whole bunch of damage. So he's going in our off-meta tilt package. Now, if you lose to something in this tier, be ready. You're going to feel different emotions, maybe crying. You might want to hit somebody. You may want to tear your card in half. Don't do it to Bravo because he's one of the best-looking guys in our game. Who we got next? What a counterpiece, right? Reinar, off-meta tilt package, right? Kind of plays a kind of his own unique game, right? Where he's banishing things from your hand so you're not able to block a whole bunch. The problem with the brutes themselves in this game mode is you kind of need a couple consecutive turns of messing with your opponent before you're actually dealing damage. And that's far better in a longer format such as Classic Constructed. In Blitz, it's just a little bit too fast. So he's safely in the off-meta tilt package. Now, the guys here, you're still going to be able to win some games. And if you're an OG, if you're an original gangster playing these type of heroes in this off-meta tilt package tier, you're going to be able to win some games. This is the problem, right? These guys up here, you don't match up well with everybody. So you're hoping for some really good matchups from this tier all the way up. Who we got next? Getting into some of our crew. We got Kasai, Centauri Sellsword. Here's the problem. She looks really cool. She's no Dorinthia, but she has a home, and it is in the ultimate pit fight. We're not going to say much about her. You don't want to play her in skirmish. Doll. This one's a tough one, right? If it weren't for the fact that she only had 3 intellect, she'd be super playable in a couple of different areas. But considering the card support that she has, we're not going to say she's reserved only to pit fight. She is going in you're probably already tilted because you don't get those dash specific cards. Who we got next? Ira, Crimson Haze. She has been the boogeyman of the Blitz format for a long time. Guys, the card pool for Ninja, it's almost like they said, we want to make a class that is specifically catered to the really fast constructed format that we have, and that's where our ninjas are going to be. So regardless of what the hero ability is itself, they're going to be higher up on the tiers just because of the speed and what they're able to chime together. Ira has the unique ability to be able to play these like really kind of grindy tempo games and then just kind of explode all over the place, enabling different drawing cards for massive momentum, that sort of thing. What do we got here? Oh, the trader. Cavdan, how do you say that? How do you say it?
Let me read it.
Okay, read it. He's got to read it.
Cavadane, I think.
No, that's not even close.
Cavdine?
Okay.
Cavdine?
Cavdine. He does stuff with life and copper tokens. You don't have time to worry about all that hullabaloo. But your buddy sitting down the table from you in Ultimate Pit Fight is going to have a great time playing that card. Who do we got here? Kaio, Berserker. Just look at that art. Look at him. Kaio is a beast, man. Like, if you thought Reiner didn't have manners, he's the guy that shows up not wearing any pants to the dinner party, right? And Kaio, same place. Him and Reiner. I don't know if we're going to be able to control him sitting side by side there at the dinner table, but a little bit of different hero ability going in here. He works, he's a little more RNG based, and you do suffer one less life because of it, but when the RNG's in your favor, may forever the odds be in your favor as well, my friend. You're going to roll if they are. Benji, Piercing Wind, right? Does not have a super great hero ability. If you can string small attacks together with Benji, you can do some cool stuff. But a lot of the really good ninja cards you're going to want to be a little bit higher on in terms of attack. He does still have that great ninja card pool, so he's going to find a nice little home right there in the off-meta tilt package tier. Who we got here? Look at that. Isn't she pretty? She kind of reminds me of the Empress from Neverending Story, although she's like dying the whole time, so it's kind of sad. But basically the shapeshifter, right? She can like copy your hero and then play specialization cards from everywhere. That's awesome. Terrible in a metagame where you have to worry about who you're playing, but awesome when you're sitting at a table with 7 other people all playing different classes. She is kind of the ultimate pit fight hero, and that's where we're going to keep her. What we got here? Sir Bolton, also known as Sir Michael Bolton, Black Michael Bolton, right? Kind of an OG himself, right? And the cool thing about Bolton is he can play kind of fast, and he can play kind of grindy. He has a couple different archetypes within Blitz, right? So the big complaint about heroes is if you've started and constructed and then go into Blitz, you're getting rid of all those extra archetypes that hero can play, and you really just want to play as fast as possible. Bolton has some cool stuff you can do. He can combo with the Luminous Ascension combo, and just go nuts with sabers. He can also do the mid-rangey Raiden stuff. You can pack some Steel Blade Shunts in there. He can really shake up a metagame. Who we got here? Levia. Take a shower, you know what I mean? Like, what does she got there? Oh, that's just her soul. That's just her soul leaving her body. Right. Levia is cool. I have a soft spot for Levia. The problem is, in Blitz, you cannot get caught with Blood Debt if you're Levia. And if Nats meant anything to anybody, if you saw Ethan Van Zandt play against Daniel at 8-5, Blood Debt hurts. You cannot get caught with it in Blitz. And with the card pool that you have with Levia, the viability is not super high. So I can't justify putting her higher. You're probably already tilted, or you're an OG Levia player and you're going to send me some hate mail right after this video goes up. What we got here? Prism. Listen, everyone was worried about Prism when Chain went out and constructed. Prism is a beast. Now, of course, the archetype where you're playing all the auras and everything and really stopping, really kind of grinding people out isn't super viable in Blitz, but the Herald aggro type of archetype is nuts. There's only a couple of heroes that do a really good job of stopping that, and she matches up well into our S tier, but because she's very kind of linear in her line, we're keeping her right in a tilt-worthy choice. Now, she's going to win some skirmish events, and you're going to have some OG Prism players winning those events. Who we got next? The once was Boogeyman, Chain. Now, if Nash, when Chain had Seeds banned, a lot of people thought he was just dead. I didn't think so, and now after seeing Nationals, he still has a really good run against the aggro decks, and because of where we are in the meta with the release of Tails, Control's really not on the forefront of our meta like it would be in some of the other countries. Now, Chain likes games to go a little longer, especially now that Seeds is gone, so he's not quite tilt factor over 9,000, but he is definitely a tilt-worthy choice, and he matches up well into that fast kind of aggro game plan. He's kind of really impressive against those aggro decks. So he's going to find a really good place here. He's going to win a lot of skirmish, guys. He's still a fan favorite. Dash, my girl. Blitz is in her place. Now, you can go nuts with her sometimes, but I'm going to, just because it's me, some people would probably put her somewhere else. If you're on that boost package and you hit a max velocity, she is in a tilt-worthy choice. She's going to make some people angry. Very angry. Legolas's little sister. I tell you what, I feel so bad for Azalea. She's never really had a prominent home. You're probably already tilted about it, but you like the Ranger class so much, that's what you're going to play. Viserai, right? Off meta tilt package. Viserai always kind of, he has different archetypes, but he always kind of feels best in this like mid-rangey, like create rune chance, kind of attack big, block out sort of game plan with a couple of really cool like rune blade defense reactions, that sort of thing. It's not really his forte in Blitz. Now he can do some cool stuff, but he's gonna have a nice home right here. If you're good at him, you'll win. Don't be afraid. From here up, don't be afraid to play what you want to play. These are niche choices here, right? These are because you're either really good with these heroes or you just really like their flavor. That's why you play here. You got to be pretty incredible to pick out of this. This right here. Oh man, this is the real boogeyman, Kano, the wizard. Now, starting with 5 less life than everybody is a detriment, but as we say as Kano players in Blitz, it's not your turn, it's not my turn, it's our turn, and because of that, he is in the S tier. Now, he's fallen off a touch in terms of popularity and how easy it is to blow games out because of kind of how grindy some of what was once grindy with Ira has turned into a little more of a tempo game where she can come a little more forward, putting a little more pressure on Kano. But the ability to just blow somebody out on turn 1 is ridiculous, and that's why he's there. Moving into the final 3, the Tales of Aria stuff. We got Lexi. If you're going the ice variant, you're going to have a hard time. You'll probably be in the off meta, but I suspect people are going to be in lightning because it's a faster format. Because of that, she is a very tilt-worthy choice. We're going to put her right here next to all these other viable heroes. And look at how happy she is. She just loves being there. Who else we got? Old Him. Couple of problems here with this guy. Old Him is so defensive in either of the archetypes between Earth and Lightning. The good news about Old Him is he's probably the only hero that we have in the game that can actually fatigue somebody in limited play. If he can do it there, he can do it here. Now, in my opinion, that's not something I want to do in Blitz. I feel very comfortable going into the Old Him game plan, but he has decent matchups across the S tier up here. He probably should be in the off-meta tilt package. There's a definite argument to say that he's a tilt-worthy choice, but my thoughts is that there's too many ways to expose him. He can't really go fast enough, but he does have that fatigue game plan in his pocket. And finally, we have our last tilt factor over 9,000 with Briar. The cool thing with Briar is both of her archetypes are super viable, both in Blitz and Constructed. Cheerios is definitely going to be played in Blitz. Have an answer for that if you're not playing Briar, or just play her and give into the dark side. We have cookies. Beyond that, her Earth archetype has this really cool kind of mid-range feel to it that's still kind of explosive. So you can block out a little bit. You can play you use one card, I use one card. Let's see who has the bigger one attack, or if I can maybe get it go again together. But this is the meta as we see it here at Kumbaya Games. This is what, if you're expecting to win, or you're expecting to see who's going to be winning, even if it's not you, this is where you're gonna end up here. Don't be too worried if you're not playing them, though. You have a lot of viable choices and the tilt-worthy choices here. Any of these guys, you're going to see a bunch of wins up here. And if you're seeing these winning, it's because they teched really well against these top 4, and then, of course, what you think they may be weak against. The cool thing about Blitz is there's so many extra choices from the Crucible of War set that the metagame's not going to be tilted like our tier list is. It's not going to be in favor of just one hero or one set of heroes. That said, you want to stay up here if you want to be winning, guys. Unless you're incredible and far better than me, you don't want to be sitting down here. I win a lot locally. I would not be comfortable going into my skirmish events playing these guys down here. Maybe if I'm feeling spicy, if I had one or two drinks in me, I'd choose something, maybe Viscerai, maybe some Oldhim, just to be a little, off kilter. But this is where I'm living. So guys, that's the meta as we see it here at Kumbaya Games. Thanks for joining in. I should have thrown some.
You should have. You also called Oldhim Lightning Ice.
Did I?
Yeah.
By the way, Oldhim is Earth and Ice.